Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we will be looking at AQA A-Level Psychology 2023 Paper 3 Example Answers for Gender, which you need to know for AQA A-Level Psychology. I hope you enjoy this video and find it helpful. Let's get started. Please note that these answers have been produced with knowledge of the mark scheme but have not been approved by the mark scheme themselves. There are 3 assessment objectives, AOs, in psychology. In this video they are color-coded. AO1 Knowledge, purple. AO2 Application, blue. AO3 Evaluation, red and green. Question 1. What is meant by gender dysphoria? 2 marks. Gender dysphoria, gender identity disorder, is a psychiatric condition where there is an inconsistency, conflict, mismatch or incongruence between one's assigned gender, on the basis of external sexual characteristics, and the expressed gender or psychological perception of self as male or female. Question 2. Outline 1 strength and 1 limitation of biological explanations for gender dysphoria. 6 marks. A strength of biological explanations of gender dysphoria is that they can be socially beneficial. If a biological cause is found to affect gender dysphoria, then this could help members of society be more accepting towards the conditions, as they may accept that it is not the individual's fault that they are suffering from the condition and feel the way they feel in their own body. This can be a relief for individuals who feel out of place and abnormal because they were born in the wrong body. This could cause gender dysphoria to be classified as a medical condition, which requires treatment and removes the responsibility from the individual and gives them more of an opportunity to get help and support. This is a strength because it suggests that identifying a biological basis for gender dysphoria could significantly reduce societal stigma and increase acceptance towards individuals experiencing this condition. A limitation of biological explanations of gender dysphoria is that they can be social sensitivity. If viewed as purely biological, gender dysphoria might be seen as an immutable condition, risking prejudice and the perception of individuals with gender dysphoria as abnormal. Additionally, the current classification of gender dysphoria as a psychiatric disorder, rather than a medical condition, can stigmatize those affected, portraying them as ill rather than simply different. This classification would be unjust if gender dysphoria has biological roots, as individuals would be labeled mentally unwell due to factors beyond their control. Furthermore, biological explanations could be misused to justify discriminatory practices or policies, such as denying gender-affirming care or reinforcing harmful stereotypes if certain biological characteristics are not found in individuals claiming gender dysphoria. This is a limitation because it suggests that biological explanations for gender dysphoria might oversimplify the condition, potentially leading to stigmatization and misuse. Question 3. Discuss the effects of media on the development of gender roles. 8 marks. Media, such as television, film, advertising, video games, and social media, both reflects and shapes societal views about gender. Media often portrays men as assertive, aggressive, and emotionally reserved, while women are shown as nurturing, emotional, and appearance-focused. These stereotypes can limit individuals' perceptions of their own potential and others. Underrepresentation of women, non-binary, and transgender people in media, or their portrayal in narrow roles, contributes to societal bias. More diverse and realistic representations help challenge traditional gender roles and promote inclusivity. Children's shows, books, and toys often reinforce traditional gender roles early in life, shaping gender identity and expectations from a young age. Social media provides a platform for both reinforcing stereotypes, e.g., influencer beauty standards, and challenging them, e.g., feminist, LGBTQ+, and body-positive content. A strength of research into media influence on gender roles is that there is research to suggest that the media may play a role in reinforcing widespread social stereotypes concerning male and female behavior. Fernham and Farraher, 2000, found that men were more likely to be shown in an autonomous and authoritative roles within a professional setting, whereas women were often seen occupying familial roles with domestic settings. This is a strength because it suggests that research into media influence on gender roles has empirical support, demonstrating a clear link between media content and the reinforcement of societal stereotypes. A limitation of research into media influence on gender roles is that there is research to contradict the idea that media influences are primary influence that affect gender roles and stereotypes. Durkin, 1985, argues that even very young children are not passive and uncritical recipients of media coverage. In fact, norms within the child's family may be the bigger determinant on the child's gender attitudes and behavior. If media representations confirm existing gender norms held by the family hen, these are likely to be reinforced in the child's mind. If not, then such representations are likely to be rejected. This is a limitation because it suggests that the influence of media on gender roles may be less direct and more complex than initially assumed. Question 4. Outline and evaluate Kohlberg's theory of gender development. 8 marks. Kohlberg's theory is based on Piaget's theory of cognitive development, which argues that children's thinking changes as they grow up, as the brain becomes more capable of complicated, abstract, and logical thinking. Kohlberg's theory suggested that a child's understanding of gender, including what counts as appropriate gender roles, behaviors, and attitudes, becomes more sophisticated with age as the child matures. Kohlberg identifies 3 key stages of gender development. Stage 1 is gender identity around 2 to 3 years. Children have an awareness of their own gender and can correctly identify themselves as a boy or girl. Children can identify other people as male or female, but this is based on superficial assumptions such as appearances, as thinking has little internal logic. Children are not aware that sex is permanent. Stage 2 is gender stability around 4 years. Children begin to realize and have an understanding that their gender is fixed and stays the same over time. They still get confused by external appearances and are not aware that gender is consistent between different situations and lack the ability to conserve or use logic. Stage 3 is gender constancy around 6 years. Children recognize that gender remains consistent and constant across time and situations. They are no longer fooled by changes in outward external appearance. Children begin to seek out gender-appropriate role models to identify with and imitate, who they feel have qualities similar to their own concept of themselves, as they now have a fully developed and internalized concept of gender and seek evidence to confirm this. They may also show preference to same-sex playmates as well as gender-stereotyped activities. There are several processes involved in transition through stages: maturation, socialization, lessening, egocentrism. A strength of Kohlberg's theory as a cognitive explanation of gender development is that it is supported by research. Slaby and Fry, 1975, conducted a study using 2 to 5-year-olds and asked them to watch split-screen images of males and females performing the same tasks. They found that younger children spent roughly the same amount of time watching both sexes, whereas older children, who had reached gender constancy, spent more time looking at the model who was the same sex as them. This is a strength because it suggests that Kohlberg was correct in his assumption that children who have acquired constancy will actively seek gender-appropriate models. A limitation of Slaby and Fry's study when supporting Kohlberg's stages of gender is that gender consistency appeared to start younger than Kohlberg's theory predicted. In early infancy, boys and girls begin to show preferences for their gender-related toys, which casts potential doubts on Kohlberg's idea of universal stages of development. This is a limitation because it suggests that Kohlberg's ages of gender development were overestimated. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. Bye.